Alright, so it's been a while since I've done a video on the finals, but figured today would be a good time to send out another one. So I haven't played the game that much in the past, like, I guess, probably like 3 weeks-ish. Been catching up on a lot of single-player stuff. And yeah, and then there's also, I play on Xbox, and there was the whole thing with that update, and I didn't really feel like playing on the old update. Not even that it was that significant of an update, I was like, whatever, I'll just wait. So played for the first time yesterday, again, like first time in 3 weeks or so, and found that I was like really needing something new. Like there hasn't really been a whole lot on the update side of things for season 3 so far, and because of the vacation or whatever. And it's been pretty brutal because obviously this game, they've been pretty good about the frequency of updates and like how much substance there is in the updates for the most part, with the exception being like the last few weeks of a season usually dies down a little bit. But even then, like those were more substantial than what we were getting in like season 3 currently. But today, Embark came out with a banger of a tease, I guess, because I think there's gonna be more potentially with the update tomorrow. Like there might even be more than this. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But that being said, they announced a lot today. And I'm going to focus on the Cashout side of things and talk about the changes there. Now, they did talk about like some changes. I think there's some changes for Banquet, which I've just started trying a little bit, but I can't really talk about that too much yet. And then Terminal Attack, which I looked at those, and in my opinion, they weren't significant enough for me to try the modes. So that's my opinion on those TA changes real quickly. They seemed like a step in the right direction, but it wasn't enough for me. It didn't jump out at me, didn't make me want to try the mode yet, really. I think it still needs a little bit of work. But apparently tomorrow, Wednesday, July 24th, I think they're getting back on that schedule, from what I could tell, unless I misread something. Dropping an update, and this update's going to have the Cashout changes that they've been teasing a lot for a while. Finally going to be implementing some of those in this update. And of course, I'm going to be playing it. I'll definitely be trying it out, definitely be recording, and I'll do some videos on it, and we'll figure it out, because all the things I'm about to talk about with these changes is of course like we'll see how it actually is once I get to play it, right? We're just all theory crafting at this point. But anyways, let's get into it. So top thing, and this is actually pretty significant to start off with here, is they're upping the cash that you earn for kills, and by quite a bit too. 200 to 500. 200 to 500. That's a pretty substantial increase. That being said, if you think about it, the amount of kills you'd have to earn to equal that of like earning like a 10k cash out even, it's still like 20 kills, and then that's not even counting like the plug money and stuff like that. So, which you might potentially get there, or if you stole it, like there's potentially some extra money to earn there. So that's not counting that. So it's probably even like more than that. That being said, if you have a match that's like relatively close between two teams, and one team is just significantly slaying out harder than the other team, you're definitely going to feel it now. Whereas before, the kill difference didn't feel like it would come into play too much. Now it feels like it'll matter more often. It'll be a factor in these matches more often. I'm actually a fan of this. I think some people probably won't be, or at least right now I am. I mean, I might change my mind once I play it. But in theory, I'm a fan of this. A lot of these guys, from what I'm aware, ex-Battlefield developers, and Battlefield's like premier mode was Conquest, and Conquest had a combination of objective play and kill focus that I think was done really well. If you don't remember that, Conquest was like domination and COD just on like a big scale, and your points, you wouldn't just get credit for OBJ in Conquest. Kills would also eliminate tickets, spawns essentially for the other team, and they would help accelerate winning the match a little bit too. So it doesn't surprise me that like devs that came from like that mode would have the premier mode. Well, hopefully it's back to being the premier mode next season of this game. Like have like a kill and objective combo type focus. Like have a little bit of both. And yeah, I think it's good. I think it adds to what makes like Cashout unique. Whereas again, like before, it was still like very objective focused. Like I said, the kills wouldn't come into play too often. Now you should start to feel that, and like in close matches, it should start to make a pretty big difference. 200 to 500 is a big increase. So yeah, should definitely make a big difference. This next one's also very substantial. 30% value of a cash box granted to a team when they put vault into the cash box. So example, if you put the 10k vault into the cash box, you earn $3. It shouldn't be $3. It should be 3k. It should be 3k. That's should be pretty obvious from reading it, but yeah, there's a little bit of a should be clarified. Earn 3k for putting it in the vault. I'm not sure about this one. I think I'm leaning towards positive, although I thought about it, and I thought about it like, what if you ran a triple light team and just all of you ran gateways and just hard committed to putting the vaults in, and just, you don't even have to double them if you don't want to, but just making sure that you're the team putting in all the vaults. It would be, like, in theory, it'd be hard to pull off, but, like, would it really be that hard to pull off? I don't know. And you could rack up the score quite a bit without even earning an objective. Like, you could get quite a lot of money off that. Again, have to remember, it's 30%. So the 15k, the 22, you're going to get even more. You're going to get even more for plugging. Oh, I should have read the other bullet point too, combined with that one. Remaining 70% is what you fight over by holding the cash out. So continued, the remaining 7k is what you fight over. So yeah, like that team that puts in the 10k, they earn that 3k just outright. And then again, like the steal and whatever, that's going to be for that extra 7k, or holding it when it pops off at the end. So again, like the combination of like getting that money and then the fact that it also detracts from the eventual total that you get, it just makes me wonder, like, what if a meta like that could develop? Would that be good? Probably not. I don't think that'd be good. I almost think this one is maybe, I think it's a little early. I think it'll probably be fine at the start, but I'm just thinking about it and it's like, I almost think this one's a little overstepping. I'm definitely fine with there being a little bit more incentive for like getting there early and holding it early. I think that's good. I think it's a good thing, but again, also like, I don't know, the first fight of the game is like so 50-50, and to put like such an emphasis on that, and then the spawns are super important for that too. It's like, I don't know, but apparently they're going to change like spawn locations, and you see that next bullet point, like starting vault locations, so maybe that'll improve that. But yeah, it just makes me think, like, you could earn a shit ton of money, even if you got 4 out of the 6 plugs, if you were like a triple light team, just plugging vaults. And then if you earn like 1 of them, you're probably good for the whole game on top of the plugs. Like, you wouldn't have to work that hard to get a fuck ton of cash when I think about it. So it's like, I don't know if I love that. I don't know if I love that. Like, if a strategy like that developed, I don't think that'd be a very fun strategy to play. I don't think it'd be very skillful. And I don't think it'd be very fun to play against either. Play as or play against. Like, I just don't like the idea of that. So we'll have to see how, again, we'll have to see how that one develops. I'm pretty positive about the kill money change. This one, I'm kind of like 50-50 on. I'm leaning good, but I'm thinking about that possibility, and it's like, I don't know. And then there's also another aspect to it that I'm going to mention now. This is the biggest, I would say, change out of all of them. And this one kind of combined with the one I just talked about is why I'm not a big fan of the one I just talked about. Like, they kind of go together. Removing all cash loss penalty on team wipes. So yeah, that means like the whole like lose 30% for a team wipe, that's gone. That's gone. There's no penalty for your cash other than, you know, the team that's killing you is earning that money for kills, right? If you want to look at it that way. But like in terms of your actual money total, it's not going to be going down anymore. Your money total can only go up, unless I'm missing something. Like it can't go down anymore. You can't like lose cash. I don't like this one. For one, I think the wipe is like such a core part of the identity of Cashout. And while I like these other changes and like them being experimental with it, I just think this is such a core part of the identity of the mode. I feel like it's almost going to feel like another mode entirely with this change. And I don't love it. And I was also thinking about like gameplay wise, okay, like what are some legitimate reasons why I wouldn't like it? Well, one, I just think the risk factor is part of what makes Cashout fun. Like when you play a really good match and you earn a lot of money and you get like 2 doubles to start off the game or something like that, you have a shit ton of cash, but you could lose it, right? You probably can't lose the game at that point, but World Tour, the cash in the leaderboards, that matters, and you could lose that cash. And then obviously in a close game, if you wipe, you could legitimately like lose that spot on the leaderboard or on the scoreboard in that particular game. You know, lose your top 2 position in that game. I just think there's that like factor of excitement with the team wipe that goes both ways. Like, again, the risk if you're the team in the lead and you're holding on to that and you're like trying to fight through it and, you know, you're trying to make sure you don't wipe. And then also if you're a team that's in 2nd or 3rd and you're fighting to wipe one of those teams in front of you because you know it'll get you ahead and you know that wipe's going to be huge. Like, that feeling both ways is very like adrenaline filled, and it's very core to the mode, and it's like a lot of the fun. I think it's a lot of the fun of the mode. Just like I feel like the stakes are lowered so much. I feel like the game is maybe made a bit less interesting too, a bit less dynamic by removing the team wipe penalties. So, and then another thing too that they're mentioning is I think they're talking about like third parties, and they want to make the mode less frustrating with like third party focus and stuff like that. And I understand that, and that's fair. But I was thinking about this one, and it's like, honestly, I think this is a change. The other changes, sure. The other changes might make third parties a little bit better, like specifically the spawn changes for sure. But this one kind of counteracts all of that, I think. Like, I think this will make third partying a lot worse, because something that would make third partying better, at least in the middle part of a game, potentially, or towards the end of a game, is the team in the lead. If they have a substantial lead, a lot of the times they'll just fuck off, or maybe they'll have like 1 or 2 players go rogue. They'll have 1 player stay out of the fight. Like, you know, they'll play relatively safe, because obviously you don't want to wipe. You don't want to get caught in any type of weird situation like that. You want to hold on to that first, or at least like guarantee that second. So I feel like that was something that kind of like helped third parties, at least like towards the latter half of a game. Whereas now, first place, every team in the lobby is incentivized to fight for all cash at all times, when you really think about it, right? Like, so why would third partying get better in terms of like it happening less? Like, why would it happen less? We'll have to see how it plays out. We'll have to see how it plays out. But just in theory, I'm just thinking about the logic there, and it's like, I just don't see it. Like, I don't see how that would help that. Like, I only see it having the opposite effect of what I think they want. So I just can't think of a way in my brain to make that make sense, where like removing that penalty would make the teams less incentivized to just fight each other in third party fights and like get, you know what I mean? Like, why not? Why not? Like, if there's no penalty, you might as well fucking go rogue and fight for everything. Now, that being said, there could be some benefits, right? Like, it could turn this mode into something completely different than it was. This mode already could have some chaos, but it could be a complete chaotic clusterfuck with these changes, right? Like, it could be ridiculous. Could definitely see some metas, like I said, with that plug money, where just everything gets fucking doubled. Like, even in ranked, like everything gets doubled. Like, I could see that type of thing developing. I don't know if that's really good for the fun of the mode, to be honest. And yeah, I'll say right now, I'm gonna go in with an open mind, but I think that should change. Of all these changes, I'm down to try the other ones, and I think they're mostly good. I think the cash wipe penalty removal should be reverted already. I don't even think that's an overreaction. Like, I just don't see that being a good thing for the mode in any way. I just don't agree with it. Doesn't make sense to me. So it's unfortunate that that's at the bottom of the list, and that's like what I'm going to take away from this, because again, a lot of those other changes I do think are really good and really positive changes, and I'm excited about them. But it just is what it is, man. It just is what it is, and I'm just yeah, I don't know. I just don't like that. I don't think that's going to help anything, and I think it's possible that that change could be so negative that it could like it could overwhelm the other positive changes. Like, even if the other changes are like really good, I think it could get drowned out by how bad that change is, which is really unfortunate. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are on you know, these notes, these updates. Obviously, I believe get the actual patch tomorrow. So, you know, I'll actually get the whole patch notes, see if there's anything else, maybe do a video on that. Obviously, you'll play some of it, check it out, do a post. You know, this is like like going into it. What are my thoughts? You know, do a post one where it's like, okay, actually played it now, mess with the changes for a few hours. Now, what do I think? I'll definitely do that. Maybe I'll change my mind on the penalty one, but I just doubt it. I don't know. I don't really like it. We'll see. But yeah, we'll go in with an open mind tomorrow. I'll be streaming it. I'll be playing it. Yeah, hope you guys are too. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one.